Red Dragon Inn's a game that I did video on a little while back. It's kind of a fun card game where you play as adventurers from something like a D&D campaign who at the end of their adventure have retired to a inn for the night to spend the night and their earnings gambling and drinking. And the objective is to be the last person sober with money left at the end of the night. And the base game itself comes with 4 characters, a little bit of variety, but the thing that really makes the game stand out are its expansions. And today we're going to look at one of the ally expansions that adds a new character and adds a new mechanic to the game. So we'll get in and take a look. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Witchdoctor Natyli ally for Red Dragon Inn. So as you can tell by the artwork there, she's a troll witch doctor, and her little totems that she can create during the game can add all sorts of different effects to your opponents. Back of the box has a little bit of the fluff story about her as well as what she can do. You can find that information is on the website. I'll also put it down in the notes for the video. These expansions come in small boxes. They're just a single deck for a single character. First off, we have an insert in here. It explains all about the character, how the new mechanics work. In this case, there's a whole thing about her cursed tokens and what they do. She has some very interesting abilities. The pain curse is whenever a player loses fortitude, they lose extra fortitude, and then the token's returned. There's a mind hex. Whenever a person gains alcohol, they immediately gain extra alcohol, and then it returns to her. And then there's the power Jinx. This one's used whenever an opponent uses any kind of debuff or things like that. Makes their next card weaker by 1 to a minimum of 0, and then it gets returned to her. And then they give some examples of combinations and how they would work together. It's an interesting new thing that kind of messes with the game a little bit. All the allies come with these much smaller player boards. They have all the information that's on the other one, except they don't have full spots for your decks, just a little tabs down here at the bottom. They have the turn order here, and then your fortitude and alcohol content counters. These are good if you're going to be traveling. They're much smaller and thinner than the original ones, so I'm not sure how durable they are in the long run. I don't usually use these unless we're playing with extra players. For now, they usually just stay in the small boxes, and we use the main ones because we rarely have more than 4 players playing. Now these have already been punched out because we've used them, but they normally come on sheets. You get 12 new gold coins that you can use. They're cardboard tokens. But they're quite a bit smaller than the original ones, so it's kind of weird when you mix these with the original ones. You have different size ones. I'm not sure why they did that, but that is something to keep in mind. If you buy all the ally sets, you're going to have a lot more of these small ones than the big ones anyway, so we tend to use them. But just keep in mind that they are different sizes. Natalia comes with 2 of each of her hex tokens to be used on other players throughout the game. One kind of cheap cop-out in these ally packs over the original game is that you get these cardboard tokens for your alcohol and your life count. In the original game, you had these little glass beads. You can buy them at just about any hobby store or dollar store, but it's kind of funny that they went with the tokens in the expansions instead of the actual beads. But again, we rarely have more than 4 players, so these usually stay in the box and we only use the beads from the original set. Since all the allies come with new rules, most of them come with special rules cards. These are for Natalia's hex tokens. They explain what each one of them do. And there's one in here for each of a 4-player game, or in a bigger player game you can just kind of spread them throughout the table. But it gives everybody a reminder of what the tokens do in case they have one on them. And then every ally comes with their own deck. This is what you use to play the game. For the most part, they all have very similar cards in them. There are a few cards that are unique to each player. In the case of Natalia here, we have this No I'm Winning Honestly card, which is a cheating card. Not only does it take control of the round, but it lets you give a mind hex to one of the players. In addition to the regular stuff that's in all the other decks, like Winning Hand, the I Don't Think So's. So most of them have the same basic set of cards, and then they have a handful of cards that are specific to that character and give them a little bit of flavor. Anyway, that's it for Witchdoctor Natyli. If you're interested in Red Dragon Inn, definitely check out the allies. They're fun additions to the game, and all of them add a little bit of something else to keep it interesting.